You got to have a very clear vision of where you want to go. Because if you don't have that, you're just floating around. If I can see it, then it must be a reality. So for me, the vision became a reality. So it was only then a matter of following through with the work to get there. Every single time when I had a vision about anything, I had to work my ass off. When you go to work and you know exactly why you're working, then it becomes fun, a challenge.
You've got to see yourself with the good you desire. You've got to hold that image in your mind. You've got to know it's going to come, and that will attract everything that's necessary. See, nothing is created or destroyed. Everything's already here. If not in one frequency, certainly in another, or not in one state, certainly in another. We've got to get on the frequency of the good that we desire, and we will attract it into our life just as sure as it's going to get darker tonight. And we can do that. Now, are you going to understand it just based on what I said? No, you probably won't. But at least I created an awareness. Well, wait a minute. My body is a mass of energy. My mind, my brain, my mind activates the brain cells. The brain is an electronic switching station. If I change my thinking, or my body changes. God, there's probably something here I should study. Hopefully on what I've told you, on what I've shared with you, is going to get you interested.
There's so much research to show that when you put a person in the same environment and they see the same people and they go to the same places and they do the same things at their exact same time, it's no longer their personalities creating their personal reality. Their personal reality is creating their personality. Their environment is controlling unconsciously or subconsciously the way they're thinking and the way they're feeling. So when they see their coworker, when they see their friend, when they see their parents, they're seeing their parents, their friends, their coworkers, and the neurological network as a memory of the past. And because every one of those people has an emotion associated with it, they start feeling the emotion that's connected to them, and now their state of being then is returning back to the past. So then to change then is to be greater than your environment, to think, act, and feel differently in the same conditions in your life. That's called change.
Your subconscious mind must accept everything that's given to it. And that's the universal mind. That's what controls the vibration you're in. Whatever information you impress, you must accept. It has no ability to reject. Now think of this. Your subconscious mind cannot differentiate between what's real and what's imagined. Whatever you impress, whether you imagine it, whether you hear it, read it, if you get emotionally involved in it, it's real. Now that's pretty wild when you think about it. You see, it's what you impress upon the subconscious that controls the vibration you're in. The vibration you're in is the frequency that you're operating on. If you are operating on a negative frequency, you're going to feel bad. Feeling is a word we invented to describe our conscious awareness of the vibration we're in. We all vibrate.
The universe only gives us what we think we're worthy of receiving. So then people who show up for themselves every day, they start feeling pretty damn worthy. Like they're like, I'm worthy for this. Not like an entitlement way, like something. They just like, I feel like it's gonna happen. I'm worthy for it.
You're not ready for what you want until you believe you can get it. All things are possible if you believe.
And you get it when you believe it. You get it when you believe you have it. And that's the key. It's like people still, they sit around going, when's it going to come, when's it going to come, when's it going to come, when's it going to come? And that's the wrong way. You have to go, it's here, it's here, it's here.
You know, we get inspired, we get an idea, we get a plan, the truth crosses us. And when it does, we usually feel like, oh, it is so clear and makes so much sense to me. I'll never forget that. And we will forget it. That's one of the values of writing in the journal. It's a way to put it down, to document it. It's a written manifestation of what it is we're chasing in ourselves, where we want to go. It's a manifestation of our future, and it's documented. And again, you write it down, you can forget it. You look back, you get reminded, and you go, oh yeah, that's where I'm heading. Sometimes we need that reminder. Sometimes we don't need that reminder, and we just look back 20 years later and go, son of a bitch, I pulled it off.
I never force anyone to choose me. If you think you can find something better elsewhere, then go ahead. I'm not holding you back. Life's too short to hang on to someone who's not sure they want to stay. I believe in freedom, in the truth of feelings. If you must stay, let it be. Because your heart tells you this is where you belong. Not because I asked you to. I want to be a choice, not a default option. I deserve someone who sees my value, who understands what I bring to their life. I don't want someone who stays with me out of fear of loneliness or out of habit. I want someone who stays because they can't imagine life without me. The door is always open. You're free to leave at any time. So if you think your happiness lies elsewhere, I won't stand in your way. And in the meantime,
wherever focus goes, energy flows. It's corny, but it's true. In fact, maybe an easier way of saying it is we don't experience life. None of us do. We experience the life we focus on. So in any moment, what's wrong is always available. So is what's right. So it's not about being positive. It's about being intelligent. When you're in a totally negative state and the world's going to end and there are people like believing that in the next 12 years, the entire environment's going to collapse and they won't have a child, you got to look at the impact of what you're believing. And you got to look at and say, where's my focus going? I can always be upset about something. I can always find something to be joyous or at least grateful for, which leads to joy. And I think it's learning to discipline your disappointments, not allow them to grow and to move on and to use whatever life has given you.
Decide what you want and begin to do positive statements in present tense for what you want. You never want to say, I will have or I'm going to have, because if you do that, it keeps it in the future. And remember, if you say, I have a wonderful new apartment and you're living in a dump, it doesn't mean that this is not a true statement. It means you are planting the seed that will germinate and grow and become the new apartment. So you just keep doing it. Everything happens in the perfect time-space sequence, and we want to trust that and we want to know that.
I had a teacher in the second grade, this Irish woman, who said, whenever I want something, I pray to the Virgin Mary and I ask her for it, and I say I'll do something in return, and I get whatever I want. I'm sitting at the back of the class going, good deal. I went home, I said a prayer, I asked for a bike. My father couldn't afford a bike, all my friends had bikes. I asked for that, said I'd say the rosary every night. 2 weeks later, I walk into my apartment. It was a brand new Mustang bike, banana seat, big handlebars. 2 weeks later, I won in a raffle that I didn't enter. It was a friend of mine who walked into a store and put my name down. So I've been operating my life like that ever since. And Hollywood was the same thing. It was a creation of my mind to begin with. What you do is you put it out there like it already exists. You feel it as if it already exists. And then when the doors open up, you walk through them. I have an insane belief in my own ability to manifest things. Insane belief. I think it's ultimately complete sanity. I believe we're creators, and I believe we create with every thought and every word. Every moment is pregnant with the next moment of your life. We all start out with a false belief about ourselves, with some untrue thing that we believe walking through our lives. I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm gonna fail. Whatever your basic mistaken belief about yourself is, you form a personality around. It's the grain of sand in the oyster. So I form characters that way a lot of times. I'll ask myself, what's the speck of sand?
I was in the Brotherhood, as you know, a secret society. I learned how to use your mind to manipulate energy and matter and manifest goals, dreams, and desires. That's what I learned. I learned it from people that were worth hundreds of millions of dollars and who are worth billions of dollars. I learned it by members of royal families. These were members of the Brotherhood. Billionaires, the biggest, most powerful movers and shakers in the world. That's who is in the Brotherhood. They're senior to Skull and Bones. They're senior to Bohemian Grove, the Council on Foreign Relations. But they're all interrelated. And I was inducted into that organization back in the late 60s when I was very young. And I was taught how to use the mind to manipulate energy. I used those techniques to do lots of things, which we'll talk about in a future episode. But I used those techniques to generate companies that generated billions of dollars in sales. In Australia, in the US, in Canada, South Africa, the UK, and some parts of Europe. I applied what I learned, showing and proving that it works. I manifested my dreams.
Everything in the universe is made up of energy, and all energy is vibrating at a different frequency. Nikola Tesla once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. What is your I am? Who do you want to be?" Align your thoughts, your words, and your actions with that vision. If you can match the frequency of that reality, you will get that reality. It's our doubt, changing frequencies, and our inability to hold thoughts and visions for extended periods of time that take us off our path. You must hold to the vision. When you do this, it has no choice but to manifest in your reality. It is a universal law.
Do you want to know? Do you want to learn how celebrity people used the energy, brain, manifestation, dream, goal, desire in them life? Do you have dream, goal, desire? Do you want to have what you want in life? Today is your opportunity off all time. Get Your Wish is Your Command for free. Scan the QR code, click on the Buy Now button, and enter the coupon code on the checkout page. YWIYC is totally free with the code. You're not watching this by accident, and watch magic happen. Do it now. Your life will change permanently. May you never be the same.